Шановні колеги, ми продовжуємо.
Dear colleagues, we continue our working day. I invite Colonel Andriy Lysenko, official spokesperson of the presidential administration on ATO-related issues. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Please listen to the latest information about situation in the ATO area during last 24 hours. And immediately I would like to present you good news. Yesterday, no Ukrainian soldiers were killed or wounded. And now in more details. In Lugansk, near Lugansk, the shellings continue near Novozvanivka. Late night, the fire was opened from infantry carriers, grenade launchers, and small arms. Near Donetsk, the enemies used heavy weaponry in some region. Thus, artillery was used near Mayorsk. Near Troitsk, 130 shells from mortars were launched. Heavy guns, grenade launchers, and machine guns near Avdiivka were used. The mortar fire was launched on Putilevska mine. Also, between Mykolaiivka II and to the north from occupied Gorlivka, they launched 20 artillery shells of more than 122 millimeters. In general, they violated ceasefire regime near Donetsk 13 times. Near Mariupol, unlike in the previous weeks, there was conventional relative ceasefire. No heavy weaponry was used. Some shellings of Mariinka and Krasnogorivka from small arms were registered. Near Vodene, Taramchuk, Noivsk, Gnutova, and Talakivka, some single fire exchanges happened. In total, there were 13 shellings of Ukrainian positions near Mariupol. Despite the continuous shellings, Ukrainian sappers along the contact line continued to carry out demining works. Thus, they neutralized 443 items of explosive ordnance during the last week. The losses of our enemies during last 24 hours, one militant was killed in result of a fire of a big caliber machine gun of their own troops, and 4 more militants from different band formations were wounded in course of their reconnaissance operation over Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian law enforcers in Kirovograd expropriated small arms and ammunition. There is an information that all this weaponry arrived from the ATO area to Kirovograd in central Ukraine. Yesterday in Kherson, the municipal council produced a verdict and sentenced the informator from DPR to 5 years in jail. The Gorlivka resident in from April through November 2015 collected information about Ukrainian patriots in occupied territory. Then it arrived to Kherson Oblast to discredit the organization, to discredit patriotic organization there. Also, the city council, city court in Lysychansk liberated from responsibility to former militants from LPR, so-called LPR, on the framework of the program You Are Waited at Home. They cooperated with the the investigators, and now one of them describes how they spent some time in the teams of militants, how they became disillusioned in the Russian world ideas, and because of the disorder among the militants. Also, Ukrainian law enforcers continue to detain the militants and their assistants. Thus, these days, SBU had arrested one militant who participated in the Kalmyks band, the legal band formation, and participated in the combat activities. He had crossed the contact line in order to carry out some adversive activities in Ukraine. I currently reside in Mariinka. During the war, I participated in the illegal band formations in Kalmyks team and worked as a driver of military machinery. I transported the military machinery from one point to another. Also, stayed at the checkpoints and patrolled the streets. We also patrolled the military convoys with ammunition. Also, the Donetsk police had detained in Slavny village near Mariinka a militant with the nom de guerre Benny Hill. He was engaged by the militants with the nicknames Mazai and Grinya, and later, after some training, he had to cross the contact line and collect information about transportation of military equipment, deployment of troops, and the number of cross points. He registered this data on the pack of cigarettes, and despite the conspiration, he was arrested the Ukrainian checkpoint. Liberty Radio. Yesterday, some days ago, you mentioned that there would be investigation about the death of 4 volunteers at the checkpoint. Have you carried out that investigation? Today there will be a separate press conference from the general staff on this event. Would you please comment? Social networks prove that in Mariinka there was a clearing up. What happened there? Could you explain? I am not ready to answer your question. Since there are no further questions, thank you very much. The next briefing will be at 13.